It was just an ordinary workday. She fired me for refusing to charge him.
That morning, I started my shift just like any other day. The salon was quiet, smelling of shampoo and coffee. I was sweeping by the front door when it creaked open. An older man shuffled in, looking a little lost. His jacket was old, and his hair was long and uneven. He asked quietly how much a basic haircut was. When I told him the price, I saw his shoulders slump. He mumbled something about coming back another day and turned to leave, but something in his voice made me stop him. I told him to have a seat anyway. He tried to refuse, saying he couldn't afford it, but I gently insisted. As I draped the cape around his shoulders, I asked for his name. He told me he was a veteran. His eyes were fixed on the floor the whole time he spoke. I started to trim his hair, taking my time, not rushing. The silence was heavy, so I made some small talk about the weather, anything to help him relax. Slowly, he started to open up. He told me he hadn't had a proper haircut in years, and I could hear the embarrassment in his voice. When I finally finished and held up the mirror, he just froze. His expression went from shock to a kind of quiet relief. He whispered, "Thank you," and I knew he meant more than just a haircut. I told him it was on the house. He tried to argue, but then he just nodded, his eyes getting a little watery. Right at that moment, my manager walked out from the back room. Her voice was sharp. "What's going on here?" I explained the situation calmly, but her face just hardened. She said, "We're not a charity," and told me to either charge him or I was fired. The whole salon went silent. The veteran started to get up, apologizing over and over. I told him to stay right where he was. I looked my manager straight in the eye and said, "I'm not charging him." And just like that, she fired me on the spot. I took off my apron without another word. The veteran looked absolutely devastated. I reassured him that none of it was his fault. We walked out of the salon together. Outside, he shook my hand and thanked me again, his voice thick with emotion. I just told him to take care. By the next morning, my phone was blowing up. Someone in the salon had filmed the whole thing, and the video had gone viral. Messages were pouring in from strangers, thanking me for what I did. Local news channels wanted to interview me. Other salons in town started offering me jobs. It was overwhelming. The owner of the salon that fired me called me again and again, but I didn't answer. A week later, I found out a local community group had organized a small fundraiser in my name. I never asked for it, but people just showed up to support me. And who was there, smiling in the crowd? The veteran. He was dressed in a neat shirt and looked like a new man. He pulled me aside and told me the haircut gave him the confidence to go to a job interview he had lined up. Hearing that, I knew I'd made the right decision. That made everything worth it. The whole experience gave me an idea. I used the money from the fundraiser to open my own small studio. It wasn't anything fancy, just a single chair and a mirror, but it was mine. I made sure to offer discounted cuts for veterans and seniors. Business was slow at first, but it grew steadily, all through word of mouth. As for the salon that fired me, I heard they struggled. The backlash from the video was pretty bad, and their reputation never really recovered. I didn't feel happy about their failure. I was just focused on building my own future. A few months passed, and the veteran stopped by my new shop. This time, he was there for a trim, and he insisted on paying full price. He said he was doing well at his new job and wanted to support my business. We laughed and talked like we were old friends. Later that week, my parents called. They told me they were proud of me. Honestly, that meant more than any news article or viral video. That whole ordeal taught me something important. Kindness isn't a weakness. It's a choice, and sometimes that choice has consequences. Choosing compassion might close some doors, but I learned that better ones will always open. I still cut hair every single day, but now I listen a lot more carefully to the people who sit in my chair. You never know who's on the verge of giving up, and how a small, simple gesture of kindness can change everything. That day didn't just change his life. It completely changed mine too. Thanks for listening to my story.